There are three main types of people who go to creator cons and summits by themselves. The aspiring manager agent looking to expand their network, the small creator looking to expand their knowledge, and the entrepreneur who came to represent their product or service all by themselves. Now, I omitted fans because all three categories should include them. After all, why work in this industry if you're not passionate about creators? So if you fall into one of these three categories and find yourself attending a major creator event in the near future, I think it's so important to get as much value out of this experience as possible. Some of what I say here might be common sense. I don't know. I didn't have anyone to hold my hand as I attended my first con, and I had to learn a lot of things the hard way. So from trial and error, here are 6 tips that I have for anyone attending their very first con. Number 1, don't show up without a plan. If, like me, you're trying to expand your network of creators, then you know that connections equal opportunity. Any event worth attending will have a publicly accessible agenda prior to the event actually starting. Download it, print it, read it, study it. Who's speaking on day 1? What's their topic covering? What company are they with? What kind of content does the channel make? Dig in. Do your due diligence on every subject and speaker. Repeat this process every day of the event. These notes will decide what your goals for the event are. It gives you a list of the creators you must speak with no matter what. It helps you plan on which talks you should make sure you don't miss to strengthen the areas you find yourself weakest in. Overall, coming with a plan ensures you don't waste your time. Number 2, diversify. As a creative producer, pseudo manager, I know that I need to connect with more than just creators who might become future clients and at least potential collaborations in the future. I also want to connect with social media platform representatives. I need a guy in my pocket who can get my client verified on Twitter or Instagram. You find those people at these cons. I need to be connected with the head of creators at YouTube so that I know before the mainstream what and when something game-changing is about to be dropped. I need savvy investors who are looking for the next big creator to partner with. And don't forget brands. Face-to-face conversations with brands are the surest way in heck to ensure that your client is remembered in a sea of competition. Number 3, the right stuff. Dressing well and getting your hair done before the event aside, how are you going to introduce yourself? How do you make sure you're taken seriously by an investor with lots of opportunity but not a lot of time? You might be surprised, but a well-designed business card works wonders. Your card needs to get to the point. Who are you? What do you do? How do I contact you? And why should I contact you? Now, it's true, if you're passing out cards like candy without taking the time to really connect with those that you're handing them to, there's a good chance that your card will be forgotten by the end of the event because, hey, they met 500 people just like you. So what can you do to make yourself memorable? Well, if they're a creator, then your research into their content sure does come in handy here. You know what matters to them, what type of content they make. It's up to you to use this information to affirm them and present an opportunity that respects both their time and their brand. If you can provide value, you're golden. The same is true of investors and brands. Number 4, access. At any major creator event, you can bet the farm that there's going to be some specialized, sponsored, highly exclusive event that you are not invited to. Now, forcing your way in is obviously a bad idea, but if you can make the right connections during the event, getting into these specialized events is a breeze. But why would you want in the Cool Kids Club, you ask? Timing. Even at Vid Summit, a creator conference organized in LA by legendary creator and marketing genius Daryl Eves, where fans are specifically dissuaded from attending by high ticket prices and middle of the work week scheduling. The mega creators you want to speak with, like mrbeast with over 90 million fans, are still nearly impossible to get alone. And when would you rather make your once-in-a-lifetime super important 60-second elevator pitch to Jimmy? In the middle of a crowd of other creators eager to chat him up? Or in a sparsely populated after party where you can finally hear yourself think? When do you think Jimmy would take you more seriously? In the middle of a crowd of people asking for his time and autographs? Or at a party that only people in the know even knew about? Number 5, reading the room. Even if you're unable to get into those exclusive parties, there will still be key moments where you can get access to the people in high demand. When you're first arriving to the event, try to get there early. Figure out where the main stage is going to be. Pay attention to exits. If you can figure out where the VIPs are going to be before and after they have to speak, you have an opportunity to interact with them. If you've taken the time to learn the person's face, you'll probably recognize them even if they're wearing shades and trying to keep a low profile as they're exiting the building. Approach them respectfully. No matter what, don't give off that weird ambush vibe. Introduce yourself briefly and immediately acknowledge their desire to remain unknown as you offer to walk while you talk. In my experience, they will admire your drive and really appreciate the empathy you're showing by putting yourself in their shoes. Using this technique, I have made some of the most important connections of my career. Finally, number 6, creator teams. When you work with creators, you learn that their most valuable commodity is time. It's the thing they don't have enough of, ever. As a producer, I have no way in heck of offering more opportunity than these big clients have pouring into their inboxes on a daily basis. But the one thing I have that they don't is time. I have time to research an opportunity. I have time to negotiate a contract, to sort out the logistics of a project. I know from experience that a project that's been gift wrapped, that's had all the hassle taken out of it, those projects are far more likely to be fully realized than any project that's been submitted to a creator's email or even their text messages. If you can recognize that, then the next logical step is to approach the creators you want to work for or with through their teams. If you see a creator walking around with an entourage, chances are those people will be far more approachable than the creator themselves. They're used to being in the background, overlooked, and honestly they appreciate it when you take the time to acknowledge that they exist, that the work they do is important. Understanding that they directly influence the projects that the influencer will undertake is game-changing. I'm not the best producer or agent in the world. Obviously, I have a lot to learn. But these 6 tips were hard-earned through trial and error, and if even one of them can help make your next event something special, then I am truly glad that you watched the video. If you feel like you learned something, comment what that something was, because you give other people permission to know that they weren't alone, because there's no shame in not knowing what you don't know.